All right, I'm currently coming to you from a backyard of a home that is not mine, but I'm currently traveling. It's kind of nice out. It's actually a little bit chilly. It's probably 50 degrees, nice sweatshirt weather. Wanted to bring you guys this video just to talk a little bit more about behind the scenes. You know, I got my laptop in front of me, of course. I'm working, never not working, as they say. I do take breaks, but wanted to talk about kind of the e-commerce side of things and the online side of things as well. Just kind of a random rant. I've been getting a lot of people asking about, you know, by the way, this is all stemmed off of a post we made on e-com season over on the Instagram page, so be sure to check that out. Ignore the dogs howling in the background. Over there, I made a post talking about like location freedom and showed myself working from my condo in Puerto Rico, which is obviously not where I currently am. And it sparked a lot of great questions. Most people reaching out to me privately through Instagram on the eCom season page, and they were talking to some of our team members. I jumped in there as well. It's kind of a mix on that Instagram. And it was really cool because people were asking about the amount of time I work every single day. A lot of people curious about my day-to-day structure. I've made a little bit of videos on that before on my main YouTube channel. But just asking, like, you know, what it's actually like. I know most people, especially seeing it, even it growing up, everybody that I knew had a location-based job. Like, people not only had to go to work every day, they lived in a city and typically a state that they didn't want to live in purely because of work. And that was always interesting to me. It was something that I kind of tried to avoid, so that's why I went towards stuff that was online. And I tried a lot of things before, you know, e-commerce ended up being the thing that popped. And it was drop shipping that was the entry point, but a lot of people don't realize I owned Instagram influencer pages before that I built from zero. I chose the names, chose what content we were gonna make. I created it. I was posting up to 53 times a day across dozens of pages. I was making all that content, posting it. I mean, it was a full-time job for like, I don't know, $15 a day at first. You know, it took a while. But that's what let me start seeing what e-commerce was, because people were paying me for shout outs. So that was my early take with dropshipping. Then I started doing it myself, got it working. Then from there, branding. I still have some stores that are dropship, some that aren't. And then really getting good at paid marketing, where it's consistent every single day. I don't really like income that fluctuates. Now, on to the point inside of this random fun rant that hopefully is of some value to you. In terms of location, I love being able to travel, and I really get bored if I'm sitting somewhere for, the longest I've ever sat somewhere is 6 months, and that was during quarantine when everything first started, about a year ago, actually. It's almost like the anniversary. And it was interesting. I didn't really care because I was working on a ton of new stuff. I was also losing a ton of money in new ventures because of COVID, so that was a little unfortunate. Probably lost almost $1 million inside of the e-commerce company trying new things and having a ton of issues with inventory, fulfillment cost, as well as stuff being held in customs. A lot of stuff. That's stuff that I haven't talked about. It's just, you know, a little separate side of the business. But it's been interesting because from a traveling perspective, I always end up going somewhere. You know, like I was in my place in Puerto Rico for 46 days, I think was the exact number, and I just like couldn't take it anymore. Like, so I just had to go somewhere. And so like caught the end of the snowboard season for a week. Now I'm in Arizona, just checking out some of my real estate here and like making sure things are going good. I move a lot. Like, I like to just do things. And I think that having a business, if you're someone like that, you're just a little ADHD all over the place, you need to bounce around. And you know, having something where you can still work, you don't have to worry about time off, is super valuable. And this is not some pitch to do e-commerce. I mean, I could really not care what people exactly decide to do. I'm here to help the people who are inside the e-commerce space. That's not exactly what this video is about. But you know, from a location-based perspective, one thing I have noticed, and this is for anybody who works online, maybe you're a travel photographer, whatever, it's great, but I'll tell you what, your living costs usually go from a standard level to like up here. Not stupid, right? I do know people who spend stupid money traveling. I've done certain things, but it's just a higher basis. And here's why. Most people take a vacation every year because that's the time off of work. But when you live where your life's not quite a vacation and you're always working everywhere you go, that is the benefit. So your time off is not time off. You're still getting paid, you're still working. That's great. But when you have, let's say, $1,000 a month in expenses to live somewhere, and then you travel a lot on top of that, it's consistent double expenses, and usually triple, because you might be paying $1,000 a month for an apartment, or you know, whatever it is. Like, that number is just scaled based off wherever you're living. In Airbnb and hotels are going to be a lot more than that, usually $3,000 a month minimum. Yeah, there's ways to stay in hostels and this and that, but you're spending a lot more. So because of that location flexibility, you do spend more money, right? And not that it's a bad thing, but you have the opportunity to make more money typically. And that is why I like it so much. It's something that it opens up a lot of perspective. I think it gives people a huge benefit. And that's why I always push for it. You know, for anybody who wants to start e-commerce, that's why we're here on this channel. It's not exactly what this video is about, but I consistently like to show that. I like to talk about the specifics about what I do, both on a day-to-day basis, a macro, a micro, talking about the advertising strategies, all the way to the fulfillment strategies. You know, like for an example, inside of our advertising agency, we have clients who clock almost $1 million a month. We also there's been clients that have fluctuated and moved on from us and whatever, but there's also clients who come to us with zero. Like they've never even run an e-commerce store. There's also people who've tried it, a couple sales, never really got it working, and we help them get it working, you know? They can watch and observe while we manage all of it. And we're actually in the process right now of rolling out full management, where we don't just run their Facebook ads, we do every little piece of the puzzle, because that's been something that's been requested. I see it's super valuable, and it just takes a lot of work for us to set that up. So it's been a long time coming. But you know, from an e-commerce perspective, it's great because you get to work anywhere. And I mean, the day that I travel somewhere and the income stops, there'd be a huge problem in that wheel, the whole business wheel that's moving. So the location freedom is great. You're just gonna spend a little bit more money. And that's kind of a little bit of the real and rawness, just kind of a random rant that was inspired off of a great question over on the Instagram, just to ask, and you know, someone asking about what it's actually like traveling, and that's the real raw answer. I enjoy probably 70% of what I do, which I think is a healthy enough number. You know, I can take a break, and that's the thing. I might work 8, 10, 12 hours a day because most days I don't have anything else to do. You go to the gym, you eat, hang out with whoever, but you know, most of the day it's free time that would be filled with work. So the difference is I can step away for a minute if I need to, and that's where things are really valuable. But everything comes at a cost. It comes with discipline, you know, learning that, and I'm a little bit ADHD and OCD, so I'm all over the place, you know. Definitely makes it a little bit more difficult, but it's super fun. I'm super appreciative of that, and I look forward to coming at you with more fun videos relating to e-commerce, of course, here on the Ecom Season channel. If you guys not already following my main YouTube channel, we talk a little bit about e-commerce, some about real estate, travel, just a bunch of different stuff, financial, business, you know, just kind of like the broader scope, a ton of really fun content. So check that out as well. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, drop a like if you enjoyed this different style of video. It's like the first video on here where I'm not inside of my computer showing you this ROAS, you know, strategy for CBOs and blah, 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 all that fun stuff that is enjoyable and we will be getting back to in the next video. So hope you enjoyed this. Drop a comment if you need help with anything, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.